Hello everyone. Today I'm just going to take a quick walk around look at the Hammond M101. This is a 1964. It is a small Spinet organ. Two 44-note manuals. They're offset. This does actually have a set of drawbars for the lower, for your upper, and your single pedal drawbar. And then you have tablets for like your percussion, your bass pedal, so you can do a legato, fast decay, slow decay, and you can mute. Then you got your percussion, second and third harmonics, fast decay. When it's up, it's slow. And then you have your percussion soft, your vibratos. Then you have your lower manual presets, upper manual presets, your reverb. Unfortunately on mine, my reverb does not work. Then you have your volume soft and normal. And then typical of the Hammond organs of the 60s, the Tonewheel generator was non-synchronous. It could not start itself. It was a non-starting motor. So in order to start it, you actually had to have a starter motor with it. And so to start the Hammond organ, you just hit your start button. And once it comes up to speed, you'll flip your run switch and hold your start button for just a few seconds. Let the tubes warm up. Interesting thing is the M series Hammonds, this is not an M1 or an M3. Those actually had the waterfall keys off the B3, C3, and the A series. This is a M101. So it has the diving board keys, which is a little bit more in line with your pipe organ, which kind of helps with being able to do dropping your fingers down if you do that. I tend to like the waterfall keys more myself. Interesting feature though, this actually has the exact same Tonewheel generator as the B3 organ. Of course it has the user manual and a couple more things, and my Hammond clock. I believe that. And on the Spinets also has a 13-note pedal board. The M1 and M3 had just a 12-note. And of course the Spinets also had their own speaker system and amplifier. Some consoles did too, the RTs, and then your I think it was the A103, which is like the C3 but with the self-contained audio system. So yeah, this is just a quick look. Alright, so sitting down, operation is similar to the consoles as far as like your drawbars are a set of 9 drawbars. Alright, as far as the drawbars go, I stated before, you have a set of 9 on the upper manual. There's the same grouping as on the console organ, so it would be the same as if you had a B3, a C3, an RT, or the A series. So these are, anytime that you see a registration for what these are, then that is what you would use. Okay, so starting off, we have the grouping of 2 brown drawbars. The 2 brown drawbars, they produce the sub-octave effects. Your first drawbar is a sub-octave of your fundamental, which is your first white drawbar. And then the second brown drawbar is the sub-octave of the third harmonic. These are used to add depth and richness to any combinations. And they also increase the range of the keyboard by 1 octave. Since a solo registration for an 8-foot or normal pitch can be set up using the first ground bar and played 1 octave higher. So as stated, it's very low. And then if you go to your so by adding or you can actually build it to have a stronger third harmonic than your sub. Give it a more of a fluty or woodwind sound. And then we go into the white drawbars. There are 4 white drawbars on the Hammond organ. The first white drawbar represents the octave. It's a fundamental tone, so it is the when you play the organ first with the fundamental drawbar alone, you can add the other white drawbars in sequence. So we'll add this one, and it will give your an octave higher up. So this will actually be, so we have your fundamental of a C, and so if you add, and here's the octave of that C. So if we add this second drawbar, you can see it's the octave higher. Of course, you have your third drawbar, which would be and then your last one. It's very high, so it's very hard to hear. The tonal brilliance is greatly increased by adding white drawbars, but the harmonics are always in consonance or harmony. Then we move on to the 3 black drawbars. The black drawbars on the Hammond organ represents the dissonant or discordant harmonics. They are always necessary in building rich tone colors. Although it must not be assumed that dissonant harmonics are unmusical, you will find them present in varying degrees in many organ and orchestral voices. For example, the mellowness of a horn, the pungency of strings, and the brilliance of the reeds all owe much of their character to the presence of these harmonics in different degrees. In general, however, the black drawbars should not be emphasized strongly above the white drawbars. If a black drawbar is to be emphasized, it is a good rule to use the adjacent white drawbars to strings within 2 steps of a black drawbar. So, say we're wanting to use on 4s, we'll bring the adjacent ones out to about 6 or 8. So let's say we use a drawbar combination of 0, 0. We'll do 1, 2, 8, 2, 8, 8, 2. This is going to sound completely off key. There will be so much dissonant harmonics that this is going to sound completely out of key. But if we add, or we take away the black and add in the whites, sounds a lot better. Alright, in this quick demonstration, we're going to listen to consonant harmonics. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up our drawbars. We're going to set up our first brown drawbar to 8. Then we're going to set the 2 whites to 8. Actually, we're going to set all of our whites to 8. So basically what I'm doing is I'm looking at the owner's manual. We're going to listen to consonant harmonics. So we have the brown drawbars are 1 octave below fundamental. Then we have our fundamental, the octave above, 2 octaves above, and then 3 octaves above. So these are what's called a consonant harmonic. Alright, and that being said, we're going to do the complete opposite. We're going to listen to dissonant harmonics. So we're going to reset everything, and we're going to pull our second brown drawbar, our 5th above, all the way out. Then we're going to do an octave and a 5th above the fundamental, which is the first black drawbar. And the other 2, the 2 octaves and a 3rd, and 2 octaves and a 5th above. And we're going to listen to what a dissonant harmonic sounds like. Huge difference in that sound. The other great thing about the drawbars is you can actually build tones. So to have a flute tone, I mean, you can easily hit on your lower preset. You can hit the flute and get a flute sound to it, or you can build it on the drawbars. To do that, we're going to leave everything at a 0. We're going to pull out our first white drawbar to about 6, and you can build on this, and then our second one to 2. That should give you a flute sound. I might turn off the vibrato as well. And so that is a flute built on the drawbars. And you can add a little bit more to that. You can make it like a light concert flute. To do that, we're actually going to decrease our first fundamental, and we're going to build out our second. So that is a 3 and a 7 on your white drawbars, nothing else. A little bit more crisp of a note. So we'll reset that. And then you can also add several flutes together. So we're going to do 7, 6, no blacks, and we're going to do 5, and we're going to pull our last drawbar out to about 4. And of course you can add varying degrees to that as well. So it just sounds like a group of them playing together. Now, if you want to build reed tones on the drawbars, it is very easy to do. It's going to be a little bit different of a structure. The reeds are more of a triangular shape as far as like when you see the drawbars pulled out. So we're going to do an oboe. An oboe, we're going to pull out our first drawbar to 4. Then we're going to pull out our second drawbar to 6. On the black drawbar, we're going to pull it out to 3. And then just varying it out to 1. So as you can see, it's kind of like it follows a triangle shape to it. This will give the oboe sound. And if you want to do trumpets, it's going to be a little bit more of a brassy sound. So we're going to pull out 6, 8, and then 7. And then of course 6. We'll just do it all down 5 and 4. And we're going to leave our last one alone. So a little bit more of an open triangle. Kind of a trumpet. And of course, theater organs have especially the Wurlitzer theater organs, they have what is called a vox humana, and that could be built, with a stop tab on a pipe organ. It gives a breathy, almost ethereal sound to it. But you can do something like that on the Hammond, but it's going to be very short. So you're going to do a 1, a 2, and then on your last 3 drawbars, you're going to do a 3, or a 4, 3, and then a 2. So as you can see, 1, 2, 4, 3, 2. So this is going to be more of a, not as breathy as what it would be on the Wurlitzer, but it's close. Alright, to build a clarinet style, we're going to pull our white drawbar out to 7, and then 2, pull our black drawbar out to 7, and then 2. It's kind of alternating, as you can see, starting out. Then on our last ones, we're going to do 4 and 2. So, and this is going to be sort of a clarinet tone. Great thing about the tone wheels, though, you have 9 contacts in your keys. So the keys will actually, when you press down, they pick up all 9 contacts that are tied to those drawbars. So you have limitless voices that you can build just by using your drawbars. And then to build off on that, we're going to do a chorus reed effect. So this is going to use all of our drawbars. We're going to pull our 7, 6, 7, 7, 7. It's going to be pretty strong. 7. Pretty much do all 7s, and then the last 2 we're going to do a 6 and a 5. So we have 7, 6, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 6, 5. This is going to be a chorus reed. Now we can also put the vibrato on for that, and we'll do a vibrato chorus. All right, let's take a look at another tone that's heavy with the organ. It's actually the building foundation of the organ voice. It's not based on any kind of instrument itself. It's called the diapason. They're also known as foundation tones. So we can do the phonon type diapason. So we're going to build that, we're going to do 5, 5, 2, 1. This is a diapason tone. It's not familiar with any other instrument. So it's kind of a fluty sound, soft fluty sound, but it's a diapason foundation tone. Now to build on that, if you want to add a full diapason chorus, we're going to use all of our drawbars, 5, 4, and we're going to do 5, 4, 4, 4, and then the last three are going to be 2, 2, and then 2. So you see here, 5, 4, 5, 4, 4, 4, 2, 2, 2. This is going to be a diapason chorus. And then on top of that, you can do a full organ effect. So we're going to keep our brown drawbars the same. Pull our white ones to 7, and then 8, 7, 8, 7, 6, and 6. So this is going to be a pretty strong one. The full organ effect is it's going to be pretty broad. But don't. One good rule of thumb is to not pull all the drawbars out to get a full organ sound. It's gonna. Sometimes it sounds weird, and I've made that mistake several times before. But this is a full organ effect using the drawbars. Okay, and then for a theater organ, such as a Wurlitzer, we're going to pull our brown drawbars out to 8 and 7, and then we're going to pull the white out to 8, and then adjust your other ones accordingly. So for this setting, we have 8, 7, 8, 7, 6, 6, 5, 5, and 3. So this is a theater organ effect. The theater organ pipes are tuned a little bit differently than a standard pipe organ, so they have a little bit more of a trill to them. And then for a little fun one, if you want to do like a xylophone, we're going to turn our vibrato off, obviously, because xylophones don't have any vibrato. So our second white, pull all the way out, and our last black, we'll pull all the way out. Kind of play that kind of a, gives you a xylophone sound to it. Alright, to get your string section, such as your violin, we're going to build a violin tone using the drawbars. So we're going to pull out 4, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5, and then 4. So 4, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5, and 4 is a violin tone. You want to make sure you have full vibrato on. That kind of builds on your violin. But if you want to do a full string section, we'll build it out for that. So 1 on your sub, and then a 2. Then we'll bring this one back down to 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, and 4. So a full string section is 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4. And another cool thing, I am looking at my owner's manual here, but you can kind of see you can have special effects with the drawbars. This is for all Spinet organs. You can also do this on a console organ as well. So as you can see here, the xylophones, you set your drawbars to 00080. Then you set your percussions up and everything like that, and it kind of gives you a xylophone effect. And you can kind of see down here. I've done some of these before, and they're kind of fun. Not necessarily required, but it's kind of giving you an idea of how broad the drawbars are on a Hammond organ. Instead of the reverse color octave presets that the consoles had, the Spinets have a smaller set. So you have your drawbar tab, which will build your drawbars. So and then your upper preset, you have a trumpet. And you can also turn your vibrato off too. Nice thing about the vibrato though, you can actually build it to like a Leslie. So you can do a small, or you can do the, if you do this Celeste 1 and 2, that's almost like a tremolo. And then if you do chorus, it'd be like your chorale. This actually does not have a built-in Leslie. And then we're going to do clarinet. A little bit more nasally. And full organ is pretty much in your face. It doesn't sound that much different from the B3. And of course, releasing the presets will take off your manual altogether. So your drawbar on your lower, this one has a red dot. I could never figure out what that was. I think it's listed what it does. I think it, because the lower manual only has 8 drawbars instead of 9. I think this is kind of a mixture of these two, but don't quote me on that. So then you have your flute. Diapason, a little bit more full sounding, and then you have your ensemble, which is just a toned down version of full organ. So full organ on top. There you go. And let's see the pedals. The pedals, unlike the consoles where they have 2 pedal drawbars, one for a sub fundamental, one for the fundamental. This one is just the fundamental. And it starts off on the lowest C and goes up to a middle C. Or it might be a C before middle C. I wouldn't say that. Yeah, it's a C before middle C. No, that is middle C. And then of course you have their stamped steel, not as easy to press as the consoles. And then you can have a pedal legato, which will hold the pedal tone to help you out a little bit because it is kind of hard to press. Fast decay, it will have there's your normal decay, and fast, more like a damper. Bass mute just mutes it down a little bit. And another kind of fun thing, you can do kind of a pitch bend modulation. I'm going to turn off full organ. By turning off the run switch, and then turn it back on. Alright, and that's just a quick look at the Hammond M101 that I have. It's a nice little organ I practice for church. I play the B3 at the church, so I use this to practice on. Helps me build my, kind of know what I'm going to build on my drawbars and stuff, since it is the same generator as the B3. So, thanks for watching.